Hello everybody, welcome to Jewelchic happiness video number 52. We are having a pink cocktail here. I made a salted caramel martini, everyone, pink one, because Melbourne has gone into stage 4 lockdown, which means we have a curfew. We can't go out after 8 o'clock, can't leave the house before 5 a.m. Only one person in the household is allowed out to get food. We're allowed to do 1 hour of exercise outside with one person. What are the other rules, Paul?
No, 2 people.
No, what you and I can go, but that's it. Yeah, what else? What are the other rules?
They're giving us all the work details tomorrow.
Yeah, all the rest of it comes tomorrow. Anyway, instead of, look, I got a shock when I heard it, to be honest, everyone. But the thing is, we're one day closer to being back to normal, aren't we? And that's the only way we can think of it, because we can't change it. So for God's sakes, everyone, wear your masks, do the right thing. Even if you think wearing a mask is dicky and you just don't want to do it, because it just slows everything else down if you don't. Okay, so we're all on track. I want to talk about pink, because I think pink's a lovely, happy colour. I don't wear a lot of pink. I actually had to get an exercise top out, everyone, because I don't have a lot of pink. But I have got a really lovely pink story. I've got a few favourite stories, but this is probably going to be the one that touches the most of you. See this? My dad bought me this when I was a little girl, maybe 3 or 4, and he used to put it in his hand like that. I think I've shown it before in a video where I talked about my dad, and he used to call it a glockenspiel. Can you hear it? And when I hear that noise, I've heard it overseas. Paul, do you remember when we were in Switzerland and we heard the cowbells?
Yeah.
And it sounded like that, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. So anyway, the story that goes with that is the other day I was in my art room, and when Dad passed away, I found a folder that he'd left me of all the Rufus stories. Rufus was a dog that he had, and he used to tell me stories about this fabulous Cocker Spaniel dog. Anyway, in this folder was this postcard from Dad, and he said, shall I put my glasses on, everybody? My fun glasses. So in the card, I must have been like 3 or 4, I think. I was walking through a shop, and who do you think I saw? It was Rufus. So that's, he thought that was Rufus, his dog, on the card. And he said, I miss our story time in your bed, but it won't be long before Daddy's home. Guess what I've bought for you? You'll have to wait. Be a good girl, and I will see you on Friday. How gorgeous is it to have that? It makes me so happy to have that, and to have the story that goes with it, and the little, I might keep that card in with that actually. So that's a pink story that makes me happy. Okay, another pink story. Do you remember the cats I showed you the other day? That's the pink cat from the Blue story. That's the one that Dad used to throw over the door. And my sister actually was telling me the story that the reason that they got me another one, I always thought it was because it was washed and they all panicked because I didn't like it anymore. But can you hear how there's a bell in there? And apparently I chewed the ear, and my sister said they all thought I'd swallowed the bell, and there was like this major panic, so they bought another one. Hilarious. Okay, these pink beads. Shelley, are you watching? My friend Shelley, I met her when Oprah came to Australia in 2000 and it was the first time. When was that, Paul? 2010, when Oprah did the show in Sydney. Remember that, at the Sydney Opera House? And I remember at one point I was going to the bathroom and I was walking along and I saw this woman dressed in pink, and she had like a strand of beads in this colour and lipstick the exact same colour, like it really stood out. And I went, oh, look at you, I like your matching pink and everything. Never had met her before, but she had been following me, and so she was like, oh my God, I know who you are, that's really fun. And we've been really good friends ever since. You've probably seen, Shelley quite often comes with me when I do a musical theatre media call, and she'll help me film and do stuff like that, and she's become a really good friend. But the part about these beads is that these are the beads that Shelley was working. And when you're a jewelry maker, pink beads are very hard to find, because they don't make glass pink beads unless they're very pale or a bit nondescript, because to do that they would have to put gold in them to make them the real colour. Same with ceramic. When you buy, when you're hand painting ceramics, because I used to do that too, and you could never get pink, only pale pink or this kind of rosy pink. So I treasure these beads. I'm very stingy with them. They're in a handful of necklaces, and I just use like one here and there. I would never use the whole set, because I'm just like, I don't want them to run out. Anyway, Paul, do you have any pink stories?
can't say I do, Shaz.
You've probably got rude pink stories, have you? Hey, I'm going to read you what pink says. Pink is a calming colour that stimulates feelings of innocence and romance, everybody. Unlike the more lusty connotations of red, pale pink makes its wearers seem more approachable. First date outfit they go. And also represents joy, sexuality, passion and sensitivity. It also denotes feminine qualities and a sense of passiveness. Who wants to be passive? That's like, I don't like the word passiveness. Do you like that word? Paul probably thinks that word passiveness is great. Passive. I think that's one of my least favourite words ever. Which is perhaps why we all have a soft spot for a man who can pull off a good pink shirt. While it's often thought of the colour to represent all things girly, it's a hue that suits all. Well, I don't know, like, I don't think all colours suit everybody, but, you know, they seem to, I guess there's all shades of all things that do suit. I just thought of another pink story though, everyone. So when I had Max, obviously he was a boy, and so, you know, you do all the boy things, and a couple of years later when Zoe came along, and I am not a pink person, as I said, all of a sudden, all I wanted when Zoe was born was something pink. I just wanted pink things to dress her in. Isn't that ridiculous? And so I remember when Mum and Dad came up to visit, like the very day that she was born, Mum bought, you know, one of those blankets that you kind of wrap them in after you've fed them or whatever, just those yeah, like a swaddling thing. I don't know, I've still got it. And it was pale pink, and I was just like, oh, like, and like your mum always knows you, doesn't she? You know, like, I don't know how Mum, I didn't even tell Mum I wanted that, but Mum bought the pink, pale pink, which you wouldn't think was me, but it really was so me at the time. It was really lovely. It's a nice story, actually. So, okay, everybody, we are going to do this like lockdown. I know not all of you are in Melbourne, but my little Melbourne friends, go onto my Instagram stories. We're all having a drink tonight, and I'm tagging everyone. I'll save it as an album. But there we go. I saw this when I was on the treadmill or on my elliptical machine. It was sort of in the room, and I thought I'm going to put my drink in that because it makes my whole, you know, page look a bit more pink. Anyway, I'm very, very happy that you're all loving these videos, and I will keep going now because we can't give up on doing. I know that a lot of you rely on these videos in the morning or at night or whatever your ritual is. And while we're in these crazy times, I'm going to keep them going. God knows what I'll be speaking about. Do you want to come and say hello? Because they like to see you. Come and say hello. Everyone loved the blue video. The blue video seems to have been the one that was the big hit. Everyone's going, oh my God, I just laughed and laughed through the blue video. And it's because of this one. And you're drinking red wine. We decided that we're not drinking.
Do you remember when we went out to dinner? Get your glass.
Oh, raise a glass to freedom.
Remember I said to you on the first night out, I said, cheers. I said, here's to me and here's to you.
This is one of my least favourite stories.
And if we should ever disagree, then, and I'm not going to tell the rest of the story because I know you don't like it.
Go on, say it, because now you'll get it over and done with. It's tragic, everybody.
Megan was 19. And nearly as beautiful as she is
It's
today.
a bloody wonder I even stayed with him after this toast.
And she was all excited, and we'd had a. Anyway, I go to Megan. Here's to you and here's to me, and she thought it was going to be something.
And if we should ever disagree,
then fuck you and here's to me. And Megan just about.
Like, who says that on an early date, like early on in the relationship?
She just about fell off the
What
chair.
were you thinking?
Well, here we are, 30 years later.
I know.
So it obviously
hey, your
worked
face
well.
looks pink. Look.
Oh, that's probably because of all the pink here in the.
Do you think?
Well, look at you. You've got pink here, you know. So
It's reflecting onto you.
look like.
Do you know what? I think I'm the whitest
Look
I've
like-
ever been. My arms are very pinky white at the moment. Normally I would be suntanned or / have some fake tan on them. But because no one's seen my arms, I just can't be bothered.
How's the caramel martini?
It's good, but I'm looking forward to a glass of wine actually. I don't know if I'm in the mood for it really. Do you want to sip? Have a sip.
Never stopped you before.
Taste a sip.
No, I'm drinking wine. I couldn't.
I put some red food colouring in it, everybody, so that it would look a bit pink for the video.
Yeah, well, you know, Meg's and a.
What was your
caramel
mother's
martini.
favourite colour? Do you know?
Blue,
Was it?
navy blue.
Navy
She
blue.
used to like navy blue.
Is that right? I would never have guessed that in a million years. Was it really?
Anyway, Collingwood's on the footy. I don't barrack for Collingwood, but I like to watch them.
They're black and white. We haven't done black and white.
No.
Black, white,
I've
brown.
got lots of friends that
I'm
barrack
thinking
for
maybe
Collingwood.
even gold, silver. Yeah, we do.
So.
And Collingwood, everyone, just a fun memory seeing as we're going down memory lane. The day we got married, was the day that Collingwood and Geelong.
No.
Hang on. You say
Collingwood,
go on.
Essendon, 1990. Though
Essendon, was it?
We were getting married the weekend after grand final.
Deliberately.
And then in one of the prelims, Sumich kicked a point, and the thing was, and so all of a sudden our wedding was on grand final day,
Like Super Bowl
not the
Saturday,
weekend
really.
after grand final day.
Yeah.
And anyway.
Yeah, we wanted our grand
Collingwood
final
were
to be the
premiers.
week afterwards because we like going to the grand final, and all of a sudden it wasn't because of this draw, this old rule, which you can't. It doesn't happen
No,
anymore.
Time
I
on
think.
now. There has to be a winner that day.
So all of a sudden, our wedding was on grand final day. Paul did an auction. I taught aerobics. We were all like,
I did 2 options.
Did you do 2 auctions?
Yeah, I
Paul
was
and I
flat
got on the
out that
front
day.
page of the Australian newspaper.
And a picture of Gorbachev and Reagan on the same day, and our best man at the wedding said that there was a picture of Gorbachev and Reagan and Megan and I on the front of the Australian, and Brendan said, I don't know
Which is the more fiery.
Which of the two is the more fiery relationships?
Because at that stage, because Paul and I was just so on and off every 10 seconds, like when we were
We
dating.
were not. It was just part of what I had to do to you to put you out to pasture when you weren't towing the line. It's a courting thing.
Don't even listen
It's
to
a
him.
very,
I've heard him say
very,
these, but
very
he only
careful
says it to rev
technique.
me up, and I'm just
it's
not even moving
It's a
with it.
technique that you use, and look,
And who was the one who came running and
By
had to
all
send me
accounts-
flowers? Who was
by all
desperate?
accounts,
Hang
it's
on, no,
been
no,
very
no.
successful,
You
this
tell
technique.
him. Who was so desperate? Who sent me flowers? And who was
I
like outside my apartment going, please
I
come
did.
back? Who
I
was
did.
it? Yes.
You loved it too.
I loved it.
You nearly couldn't fit the flowers in your car. They were so big.
I know, it was wonderful.
Good night.
Oh my God, we've got on for 12 minutes, Paul. Hello, Stella. I know you love the long videos. Anyway, I'm going to go, and I don't know what colour. It might not be a colour. No, you know what? I'm going to do a colour, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. That was what my dad used to say. Okay. Thanks for joining me with the drinks. And hang on. Cheers. We're all going to come through this okay. Lots of love. Bye.